Warning.
Warning!
Now for a word of caution.
It's time to step into the danger zone with your host, the danger himself, Kris Denker.
Well, Happy New Year, everybody, 2022 and stuff and whatnot. Hope everybody had a good Christmas if you celebrate, good New Year's Eve / day if you celebrate. I don't know. Maybe you don't. Oh, it's been a little bit since I put an episode up. I think last one with Colt was about 2 weeks ago. And then I recorded the episode today while I was still a little sick, which you'll probably hear a little bit later on. But there's a couple things I want to touch on today. This is a multifaceted, multi-layered episode. First and foremost, I get to talk with AEW's Kris Statlander, who is cool as hell. She has a bearded dragon who had a broken leg and who I hope is feeling better. Due to the fact, though, that she is an alien, sometimes the reception between Earth and her location wasn't always the greatest. So we did have to cut this conversation a little bit short, and it is a little bit different sounding than some of our previous ones, since we did have to do it over the phone. So there's a very good chance we'll run this one back in the future, but we still talked about some really cool stuff. And like I said, she's an awesome person, so I wanted to share all the stuff that I could from that conversation. So I hope you guys enjoy that. That's up first. And then following that, the DPW episodes that have aired so far, featuring a certain superstar who will remain nameless. So that's today's agenda. But before I get started on that, I wanted to let you guys know kind of what I'm thinking here over these next few months for this podcast. So as it's set up now, the audio podcast is free for everyone, everywhere, all over every platform. Access to the video versions is $1 over on Patreon, and then we have some bonus content for like $5 and above, etc. I don't really like that format anymore. I did it first, but I'm at the point where I want to grow the podcast, and I want to give people as much content as I possibly can for free. So going forward, the video versions as well as the audio versions are going to be available for free. And Patreon will actually give you early access to those things. So if you're a Patreon member, you will be the first to hear and see the podcast when they go live. But then when the podcasts do go live, it's going to be video versions, video clips, and audio versions all over the YouTube channel, everywhere. Just so I can share that content with a lot of people, because I get asked all the time, hey, why aren't the video versions on YouTube? And I was like, maybe this would be a cool way to grow the Patreon, but I would rather just give you all the stuff, right? Just give you all the stuff for free. And then, I don't know, I'm probably going to start looking for like sponsors or ad spots. So like, I'll throw in a 30-second ad, in a podcast every now and then. But you know me, I'm always going to try to make it, an enjoyable 30 seconds. So you don't want to shoot yourself while you're listening to somebody talk about a product or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I would rather get paid from people. How do I say this? I'd rather get paid from people who got a lot of money to spare. You know what I mean? I would much rather you guys like not. Oh, this sounds. I hate talking about this shit. I can't even explain. Like, I can't even tell you what it took me to fucking launch the Patreon in the first place. Like, because I'm not a handout person. I've never been a handout person. Patreon in itself, even though I'm like providing content, still just it's never. I don't know. That's just, these thoughts are just flowing. This is what the podcast is for. But either way, I would rather my supporters / fans / you guys, hey, buy some merch when it drops. Shit like that. Come out to the shows. Come out to DPW shows if you can. That type of shit. So with that said, if you want to support on Patreon, that is totally up to you and obviously appreciated. But I never wanted to feel like someone had to subscribe to the Patreon to get something from me, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. It might not make sense out loud, but it made sense in my head when I said it. I'd much rather just not do that. I am totally fine with these. If these companies want to give me as much money, please, because I know you got plenty to spare. It's the first of the month. It's the beginning of the year. All these companies with the big ass budgets, feel free to call my number. You know what I mean? But you guys, I just want your support. Period. That's it. Like, I don't need your money. I don't want your money. Like I said, buy some merch. When I drop that action figure, everybody better buy one, or straight up everybody dies. I think that's it. I don't know. I think I rambled enough. I think you get it. You understand what I'm saying? It's good. I'm going to assume everybody said yes. Okay, so changes coming to the Patreon. Thank you guys so much who either are or aren't patrons, whatever. Just thank you for listening to this bullshit of mine. I got a lot of really cool ideas for the podcast coming up, and a lot of really cool guests that I'm trying to lock in, and a lot of other things going down and going on and going down and happening and going in. So enjoy my brief conversation with AEW's Kris Statlander. She's awesome. And after that, a little DPW fire review. Enjoy the episode. Happy New Year.
This is a treat for me because it's my first time interviewing an alien, and it happens to be the greatest one in the galaxy, Kris Statlander. Thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it.
No problem. I am in my human transportation right now, obviously.
Not used to that, right? It's a little different from how you normally travel. I'm glad we got to do this because you are easily, in my opinion, just one of the most unique, one of the most fun stars to watch on the show. And from what I understand, your persona is very much grounded in reality because you are actually very big into science and space and all that stuff. All the stuff I got C's and D's in school. When did all that click for you? Like when did you fall in love with all of that?
With science?
Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of it, pretty much my entire life. I remember for my birthdays and Christmas stuff, my parents would always get me little at-home science kits and stuff as for my presents. I don't know. I've just always been a huge fan of it.
What was that initial conversation for you? With your family to be like, hey, I'm going to go wrestle now, by the way. Was it a bombshell or was it a gradual thing?
It was, so before I got into wrestling, I went to school for athletic training and physical therapy, and then I told my parents, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't like it. I want to do stunt doubles. So they supported it fully, let me find a stunt school, helped me pay for it and whatnot, and totally on board with that. And then I got involved with wrestling through just becoming a manager at first, and then I was like, I think I'm going to try it. And then my dad's actually a huge wrestling fan, so when this came full circle for him, he was so excited.
That's so cool.
Yeah, they've always been super cool about it. They love it. So
that's awesome. Is that a bearded dragon on your chest?
Yeah, we're taking a road trip to visit my parents. So.
Oh my God, I had a bearded dragon for a while too. What's his or her name?
Her name is Boo.
Oh my God, how adorable! I'm gonna have to make sure everybody sees the the video of that. That's amazing.
Right now.
She has a broken leg. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So that's why she's got some cast on.
Oh, I hope she heals up quickly. It's such like the amount of conversations I had with people where they're like, why a bearded dragon? And it's like, why not? Like, they're cool as hell. They just chill in their like their little stuff. They're very easy to deal
They're
with.
lizard puppies.
And that's the thing. I have 2 dogs, and it's a full-time job with them. Whereas the bearded dragon, he just like showed up and was like, "Hey, what's going on? Feed me some stuff. All right, I'm good." So it's a very very easy experience. The work that you've put in obviously has paid off for you. Now you're a big part of AEW's women's division. Tell me about that whole experience, getting to work with those talented women and wrestlers of that caliber. What's that whole experience been like for you?
It is so much fun. It's so nice to be able to work with people that want to have fun with you. But also, it's like it never really feels, in my opinion, in my experience, it's never really felt like a competition with anybody else. Like we're all just doing our best, and we're all just trying to put out the best product that we can. And it's nice to just not have that competition with it. Like you have people there, and it's all for the greater good, which is very kind of feels like a culty type thing to say, but it's like it's a good thing. It's like we're all just doing it for a better everything else.
I agree with that, because all the conversations I've had with people that work with you, work with AEW, whatever, they all say the same thing. It's very much it's a family vibe. Everybody wants to see everybody else succeed. And that's, like you said, it's not that there's zero competition. It's that the competition with each other is to help everybody get better. Everybody wants to see each other get better. So that's the coolest part of any sport, is that being able to be on that level with everybody. Along with being a part of a team like that, or on a sport, no matter how hard you work or how good you are at what you do, sometimes, unfortunately, injuries come with the territory. You had the ACL tear last year. Thankfully, you're back now, better than ever. What goes through your head when that moment actually hits?
Very, very negative. A lot of negativity. I'm a bit of a psycho, and I was just kind of like, one of the first things that I was thinking about was like, oh great, how am I going to work out now? Not even about like how do I get back to wrestling. It was like, oh, what am I going to do about this? And it was like during COVID, so it was like very height of COVID. It was June of last year, so it was like things were real bad last year at that time, and it was like, how am I going to get help? How am I going to do anything? And it was like, it was just such a nightmare kind of. Like, usually it's like, all right, we go in, we get the MRI, we get surgery right away, and it took almost 2 months for me to get my surgery.
Wow.
And it was like, it was just such a nightmare, and like, it was so frustrating, such the whole process of it. And then on top of like being stuck in the house because of COVID, it's like you can't go out and you can't do anything. So it was like, all of it was just a very dark time for me, and I think there was like 4 months straight that I cried every single day, because I was like, what am I even doing this for? What's happening? And then I got to come back, and I was like, oh, I'm good now. it was a struggle. It was awful.
Yeah.
I would never wish that upon anybody.
No. I can't even imagine. People like to say everything happens for a reason. Unfortunately, if that was one of the reasons, to get you back and better than ever, then all the events that took place that led up to you like being where you are now, you know what I mean? I guess when you look back, it's like, okay, you got to go through what you got to go through. That actually led you now to be part of the Best Friends, which is quite a set of personalities. What is a typical day of work like for you these days?
Orange always, he always tries to get people to do things for him,
Right.
But what you see is what you get. Trent, he's a very reliable friend. He came back to us twice now. Speaking of that. Chuck, he's very, very hyper. He's always bouncing around whenever we do it. I don't know why. Even if he's always so excited. Maybe he's just excited to not wrestle. I don't know. But
he's just happy to be around. He's like, hey, I'm just happy to be here.
He's just having a good time, And then Yuta, we're still figuring Yuta out. We know
Yeah.
much about him, but
Right.
he's kind of like in the newbie young person of the group stage, like
Sure.
I am now. So we're kind of like the children of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Trent and Chuck are all three of our dads. So
Ah,
very very interesting dynamic.
that sounds like a fantastic dynamic.
Yeah.
Not only that, too. I mean, I'd be stupid not to mention the chaos stuff as well, because it already being such a prestigious group, you getting added to it, you're pretty much right in the middle of this like forbidden door now. From
Yeah.
a wrestler's perspective, like how cool is it now that these crossovers have the potential to happen?
See, I don't know if I'm like legit actually in the group.
I
Like, we
feel
don't
like you
know
are. I think you are.
Say we are. Rocky says that we are, but we don't know if Rocky actually asked anybody at New Japan for real.
I mean, I feel like if Rocky said it, I'd be like, all right, all right. How about four women you work with right now that you just can't wait to kick the shit out of? How about that?
Okay. I want to wrestle Serena. I've wrestled Thunder Rosa on the Indies, but I haven't in AEW. So Thunder Rosa, that's two. I really just want to wrestle them all, but Jamie Hayter and we had a singles match on the Jericho Cruise, and I would love to do that on Dynamite.
I would love to see that.
It was a great match. It was
Yeah.
so fun. Did I win? Oh no, her and the Brit Squad.
Did I win?
I lost that one. So we need to redo one that
You
actually.
got to run it back, of course. You got to run it back.
Yeah, we got to do one that actually counts. I just wrestled Ruby and I lost to her, but I would love to wrestle her 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So, there's
Hell
four
yeah.
right there.
Well, get your plugs in. Where can people find you at? Where can people follow you and stay up to date with everything Kris Statlander?
Twitter and Instagram at Tony Kris Stat. Don't find my Facebook. I won't add you. I have a YouTube account, but I haven't posted anything, so just follow other people like AEW. That's where you can find me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you're gonna follow me on Twitter, be nice. 'Cause
Yes. Must be nice to everybody.
Yeah.
Too much bullshit on Twitter.
Just be
Yeah, just be cool, be nice, tell people how great they are. Stop being shitty on the internet. And everybody go follow Kris Statlander and tell her how great she is also, because that is the truth.
Yeah, you'll see my pet. You'll see Pooh.
Yes.
On Instagram.
Well, I hope she feels better. I hope she heals up quick. And I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for this. I wish you the absolute best. Dynamite, Rampage, everything you do, wherever you go, you're gonna kill it. So keep being you and keep being fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time. And with that, we're gonna transition into this other part of the episode where I want to talk a little bit about DPW Fire, the brand new episodic pro wrestling program that is taking the world by storm, says me. And no, but seriously, like the support on just those first 3 episodes so far has been unbelievable. The 4th episode, the Go Home Show, is this Thursday, and then on Saturday, January 8th, in Raleigh, North Carolina, at the Raleigh Convention Center, it's gonna be DPW. You already know. That's the first like big show, the first pay-per-view, if you want to call it that. The first big one. So I believe tickets are still available. DPWTIX.com. But if there won't be soon. Especially, I'm pretty sure there's a little more space at the convention center than there was at the Fire taping. So anybody that came out before, if you're gonna be there at the convention center, I look forward to seeing you and saying terrible things to your face. Speaking of which, the first episode, DPW Fire, I was like completely blown away just by how great it was. I'm not gonna do like match reviews and stuff. I just want to talk about my personal outlook on everything, like from being there. First show was incredible. I don't want to say I was surprised, but I was very impressed with
the presentation and the lower thirds and the transitions and all that stuff was great. And then I found out Diffract did a lot of the graphic stuff, and I was like, okay, well that also makes sense because all of his stuff is amazing as well. So there's just a lot of great people working on this thing to begin with, which is already awesome. And then the presentation was great. You had Tubby Emu doing the ring announcing, which he did a friggin' awesome job. He absolutely killed it. Just the whole vibe at the fire tapings was like everybody was in it. Everybody was there for it. They were ready for whatever was going to happen. I feel like DPW is it's not, I don't want to say it's like even niche or unique. It's not even like they plan on doing things that are like, oh my God, that's so dumb and crazy and wild and stupid and like, oh my God, like they're not, that's not what they're going for. But it's just at the same time, there is this like, and people that were there said it too, there's like this different energy about it where it's growing because of the fan base that helped create it in the first place, if that makes sense. It's like a very circular Deadlock, and DPW in itself, I feel like are just, and you can even add like my audience and the new Legacy audience in there. Like it's all very circular where something's going down in one of these communities. We all come out, we all support it, and we all ride with it, loudly. And that's why all of us have been able to be, as successful as we've been the last couple of years, because I feel like we've really leaned into each other as far as like advice and just working together and doing stuff. Like the more people you have on your side, the more people you have on your team, the better. I also at the same time believe in keeping a small circle. So it's a delicate balance you need to strike, but everything that they do and they plan on doing is so like, it's just fun. Is everybody that comes to the show gonna leave saying, man, that shit was fun? Like that's literally it. That's the objective. I feel like what's being done with DPW, there's an interesting way to put it, because it's like it's not everybody's pro wrestling, but it's pro wrestling for everybody. Oh, that was good. It's okay. Wait, what did I say? DPW may not be everybody's pro wrestling, but it's pro wrestling for everybody. Oh, let's go. They got to pay me for that one. They got to buy that one off me. Wow, that was great. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been in character too much lately. Speaking of which, my dumbass comes out. No idea what to expect. I don't think everybody that was there obviously saw like the graphics that they put up before and like, oh, Chris Danger is going to be at DPW Fire. What is this schmuck doing? Oh my God, is he wrestling? And blah, blah, blah. And no, I did not wrestle yet. But I come out and I was like, oh, that was nice. That felt kind of nice. And it was for a moment I was like, oh, I'm kind of upset that I have to now piss these people off, because that was a nice little reaction. I very much appreciated, which took me by surprise. And if I can be 1,000% honest with you, there's a moment where I don't even know who started. I think like Tony or James might have actually started the chant, but the fact that it even picked up, like a Chris Danger chant started. And I was like, and I stopped what I was saying to like listen to it. And that was like for a second, there was a genuine like, okay. There was a genuine like, okay, maybe this is maybe I'm doing something right here, you know, because I'm always one of those guys that I fucking question everything. Like, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Why, blah, blah, blah. Like second guessing and whatever. That's just kind of how my brain works. And that was kind of like a reassurance of, okay, I'm about to give these people some shit now. Like that, like I felt that was almost like a bit of acceptance. The moral of the story is that shit was a lot of fun. And I saw people in the comments say too, like, oh my God, looks like Kris is having so much fun. And I am. And I absolutely am. And then in episode 3, being able to have a back and forth with fucking Luther, like, that shit was cool as hell. That shit was so much fun. And the crowd was so behind Luther and so into the DPW chants, and then, you know, shut the fuck up chants, and the danger sucks chants, and all this other stuff that I better not hear ever again. But man, that shit was just, it was cool as hell. And fuck Luther. And man, NDA is gonna oh, he's gonna regret the day that he brought all them dippers around my ring. And that was that. I'm very excited for this upcoming pay-per-view, DPW Yak, on January 8th. That should be a fun-ass show, and I can't wait for you guys to see where we go from there. There's a lot of, like I said, a lot of really cool ideas going through the pipeline. Definitely keep your eye on DPW. You already know. A lot of things are going to be set in motion, and I can't wait for y'all to check it out. Just thank you guys for the support on that, for the support on this, for the support on the fucking channel, for whatever. Everything I do, anybody that takes the time to listen to it, watch it, view it, hear it, whatever. You have my eternal gratitude. Even the people that hate watch. And no, I don't think I have any of them. I might, but probably not. Who cares? Either way, I hope you guys have a fantastic new year, fantastic 2022. I got a lot of goals for this one. I'm trying to get into the best shape of my life for reasons. And I'm trying to start building that house that I've wanted since I was a kid. I want to start, get that going this year. A lot of really cool stuff in mind. I'm trying to build my empire. So Raid Shadow Legends, if y'all want to come and y'all want to ad spot on the podcast, you let me know. But thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week. I'll catch you guys next week. I love y'all, and I'll see you soon. Peace.